What's up, Swag Muffin? Can you hear me pretty well? Am I coming through on my mic? It should sound like there's not a whole lot of background noise. What's up, Jacob? We're all a little bit lost, aren't we? It's pretty cold and rainy today. I'm hoping I warm up once I start the actual running. Oh, thanks for the follow, Jacob. I appreciate it. Hope the 6 people in here had a good Christmas. Yeah, day after Christmas. I'm walking towards the drainage ditch that we call the LA River, and it's been raining a lot, so it might be wild, but it might also be very clean on the path. Hope your Christmas was good too, man. It was okay. Yeah, it was all right. Was yours good? You responded to my wish that yours was good, but you did not confirm or deny whether your Christmas was good. Elaborate on the black box. What's there to elaborate on? Are intelligent people unhappy for real? Or, yeah, unhappy, thought has space to imagine better, and that's painful. Is that it? So are unintelligent people just entitled? Or are intelligent people just entitled? Handsome Bruce Lee. I appreciate that. I think I'm taller than Bruce Lee too. But he definitely had the better body. Got to spend time with my family, love those people, that's all we got is family. So that's been tough for me lately, Jacob, because I feel like anytime I have to interact with my family, it's stressful for me. You know, it doesn't make my day better when I get into contact with my family. And they're not toxic people, not by any means. But, you know, every time it means something's about to happen, something I have to deal with. Most people annoy me, but I don't know if that's an intelligence thing. Yeah, it's good to think that way, you know? There's definitely a lot of people who aren't particularly intelligent, who think that everything other people do wrong is because they're stupid. So I don't really like that. Most successful people aren't the most salient of mind. I don't know about that. I think there's a positive correlation. I do think there's a level of overthinking where it stops being useful. And so there is like a happy sweet spot. I think successful people don't overthink, but that doesn't mean that they're not intelligent. This tendency to live in their heads, yeah, I feel that way sometimes. The lion doesn't concern himself with what his family thinks. What a Kai, I think that's my friend Kai. It's been a while, what's up, man? It's low-key both, in my opinion. Directing attention is the talent. I think focusing attention is what it really comes down to. All people have value, smart people dissolve hierarchy. Maybe. I think that comes from like privileged people who don't really deal with unintelligent people. You know? Where the hell is Unk at? I'm walking in my neighborhood. I'm trying to get to a place where I could run. There's a place I like to run. It might be bad, and then there will be a lot of wasted time on this live walking around on the sidewalk. The more intelligent you are, the crazier you become. See, these things, I don't know that that's necessarily the case. Huge props for the location choice of this live. Thank you, JT, the Iowa investigator. Dude, you're such a weird, like, what a like person to be. If you guys don't know, the JTT Iowa investigator, he just dives into Iowa lore. And you know, like some stuff really pops off. Some stuff doesn't get as much viewership because, you know, it's Iowa specific. But like each video is like well researched. It's like a whole thing. Dude, it's such a weird, it's what a weird like person to have like decided to become, man. I love that you exist, JT, if you're still in here. Noah, hey, what's up, Noah? Yeah, and it's gonna be dark. I brought my light today. Am I from Iowa? No. I assume that the Iowa guy is from Iowa. I'm from Arizona, but I fuck with Iowa lore. Yeah, I'm from California, but I fuck with Iowa lore. Shamo Guiz, no, I'm gonna start running soon. I'm getting to the river path. We're about to see if it's runnable. I'll show you guys. Oh, thanks for the rose, Gervis. All right, so I'm gonna try to flip the camera real quick for a short second. Can I flip the camera? Every time I want to do something, I get frustrated. How do I flip the camera? Flip camera, boom. All right, guys. So this is what's known as the LA River. And it looks like the path itself is pretty clear today. So I can go on my run. I have an IQ of 500 and very unhappy. Would you ever go to Australia? I've been to New Zealand when I was a child, when my parents still had money. I heard it was flooding. Yeah, I heard it was flooding too. Maybe I'll be one of those idiots that gets swept away, but I'm a pretty good swimmer. I can tell the lion has a short temper. Yeah, I do. I definitely do. I live in LA, but been visiting folks in Arizona. How's the rain? It's pretty bad, but it's also not that bad. You know what I mean? Like LA is just not built for rain. You know what I mean? So like a lot of like the crap that we get as Californians, you know, about like various things. It's like, dude, this place is just not built for rain. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really make us stupid that like our place is not built for rain. You know what I mean? All right, let's see. I just turned on my gimbal. Sorry, guys. I'm surprised there was enough to flood. Have we answered the question? No, it's just going to be kind of a discussion. Oh, there's a big homeless camp under the bridge because of the aforementioned rain, which is totally understandable. I don't blame them, but I'm going to quiet down as I pass them. What you need the green Monster recipe for? So my dad drinks Monster for the taste. So he drinks Monsters at like 8 p.m. and that's been really stressing out my mom. And so my dad said like he just likes it for the taste. He doesn't even drink it for like the energy. And then so it's like, okay, if we can find a substitute for you, then would you be okay? I think like once you're above average intelligence, you're unhappy about the way the world is. Maybe. I know a lot of intelligent people that just kind of accept that things are the way they are. Do I eat bananas for the shape? No, I suck dick because it reminds me of bananas, actually. So you got cause and effect mixed up. How do we define intelligent? You know what it means, dude. Chris the human followed the live creator. Thank you, Chris. Are rarely even intelligent? Yeah. A lot of people want to say that. A lot of people always have to say stuff like that. Hey, yo, my granny's sitting next to me. Hey, Forever Player Made. Ask your granny, man. Does she eat bananas for the shape? You didn't have me on headphones today, man? It's pretty bad. I'd say it's not as bad as like San Francisco can be, but it's pretty bad. You know, it fucks with your daily life. You're gonna get me sent up yonder. Is intelligence how people are able to figure things out? Yeah, I would say so. All right, someone asked like, how do we define intelligent? I don't know. You can tell when someone's smart. You know what I mean? All right, so it's time for me to start the run. So we're gonna start a 4-minute run block. What's happening? Resume. All right. I have a billion IQ and happy, rich and get girls. Couldn't be me. Yeah. Have a good run, brother. Kill it. Okay. I think it's smart to stay happy. Yeah, or, I mean, so a lot of people are going that route, right? A lot of people are saying that smart people see the problems in the world and that's why they're unhappy. I don't think that's wrong. But smart people also can accept the things they don't change. They can't change, right? Yeah, I got like a little, is Paulo, you're not happy though, look at you. Yeah, is your whole thing, are you just gonna be bitter that I'm trying to talk about intelligence? Because you're fine to do that, but like, I'm not trying to convince you of anything. Like, so first off, guys, I'm pretty smart. You're not really gonna convince me otherwise. So, and I'm not trying to prove it to every single person in here. So if you don't believe me, just leave, you know? I think it's kind of some intelligent people are depressed, and some depressed people claim intelligence. So those are the people that I don't really like, is the people who are unhappy and then they try to turn it into a compliment about themselves, right? The only reason you're here is to be happy. Yeah. So that's kind of why I'm diving at this, right? Because there's like a lot of talk about intelligent people being depressed. And I've always thought, which ones? Is it the ones who are not cool? You know, it's kind of like the separate axes. T. Scott, thanks for standing up for me, but like, I mean, he's not spamming, you know what I mean? So he's trying to do it with like insightful ways to like get under my skin. So that's cool. If it starts to be too many messages, I'll just block. Do you believe in the moon landing the same way as you believe the earth is round? Basically, yeah. Like the thing with the moon landing is there was a whole other adversarial government, Russia, who had a very big interest in calling out the lie if it was a lie, right? So if the moon landing was fake, Russia would have called it. 100 unhappy people and average it, ask if they're smart or not. Why I ask for definitions. Yeah, let's just say the way you can measure it on an IQ test. How fast do they learn? How observant are they? Yeah, he is one of those whiny losers trying to cope in here. Yeah, he's just one layer deeper, where now he tears down other people who think they're intelligent. Or, I mean, he's just trying to get attention. And that's fine too. I've only blocked, I looked at my block list after my live yesterday. I've only blocked like 11 people. Isn't that crazy? So you just have to break the game in order to get blocked by me. Oh, I just realized my gimbal's not working well because I don't have my Bluetooth on. I might have to connect it. You want to discuss more with me on this? Ignore these motherfuckers? Yeah, but I don't buy it. What did you speak about intelligence often? Yeah, I guess I do. Intelligent people are unhappy by their nature because they see the true nature of everything. See, those are the kind of cliches that I'm kind of wary of, you know? So it's like, oh, they're unhappy because they're intelligent. They're intelligent. Whoa, who sent this corgi bud? Holy crap, that was crazy. Cali Cat, thank you. Nipple chafing is the worst part of running. Yeah, when I plan to run more than an hour, I put on fucking nip pasties. Okay, all right, the live might freeze for a second. I have to turn on Bluetooth. Thank you, V. Okay, all right, the live might freeze for a second. I have to turn on Bluetooth. Thank you, V. Vilton. Thank you, Vitonzi. Smart people can see the good things in the world too. Yeah, exactly. That's why all the people who are basically like teenage emo, smart but not smart enough to do much about it. Yeah, I think there's a lot of those people. Yeah, if you're actually intelligent, your life ends up being good, you know? And then like, I would say, I kind of venture to say it's kind of a skill issue. What was your SAT score? 2320. I prepped for it for a long time, you know? So, not trying to hide that fact. I took a lot of practice tests. I'm watching this while driving. Drive carefully, homie. It's a mix of both, brother. Correlation does not mean causation. Yeah. So I kind of want to get to the bottom of it. I want to get to the bottom of it in the sense that, you know, are smart people just a little bit more lonely? Because that's definitely a factor where I've wondered, we should be Reddit, Red Art Maxi. I've wondered, thanks for the follow, thanks for the sweaty teddy. The average person who thinks they're intelligent aren't lol. Most dumb people are sad as well. Oh, that's a great point. A lot of unintelligent people are also unhappy, you know? So, what will intelligence matter in the age of superintelligence? That's a good question, but it's kind of a digression from the main subject. So, I'm not really gonna engage with that. Smart people are definitely more lonely, yeah. Smart tend to be lonely because it's hard to associate with normal people. So I'll say that's true. Like I used to think that I was like people liked me, okay? So obviously this is gonna get very braggy. Like I did well. I got voted to be like a leader of like a very big community service club in my high school. So like early age, I was decently charismatic. I wasn't like the man or like the Fonz, you know what I mean? But it wasn't like, oh, nobody gets the lion, nobody understands the lion. No, people liked me. And I always thought the people who were kind of alienating of others and also smart, they weren't that smart, you know? Maybe it shows how you struggle with confidence in relationships, sharing experiences you've noticed. Smart people understand the world around them more, and the world is sad right now. No, it's really not. Yeah, it was Key Club. It was a version of Key Club. The world is still sad. We have a lot of work to go, but I'm pretty sure by like any metric you can define, standard of living has gone higher. Like we talk about inequality, but like I would say the working class today are better off than like the working class 200, 300, 400 years ago. I think it's only recently, like only in the last 100 years, would we say that there's been a dip. And I think there's a correction coming soon. You're very affable. Thank you. Haha, Key Club. Yeah, the Asian club. May struggle with interactions. Yeah, but so autism is kind of a separate thing. You know, there's a difference between being people smart and being part of a group and collective. I could clap with one hand. It's really dependent on what people classify as intelligence. Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard to define intelligence. Are you a fast learner? You know, do you think good? Do you think quickly? A lot of intelligent people try to use their intelligence to bypass their emotions. I think that's super true. Like they get into analysis paralysis. They face like the gray areas of life that are difficult to navigate. And then they try to look for black and white solutions. You know, they try to outsmart an emotionally difficult situation. I think that's definitely true. I think a lot of intelligent people get stuck. I think Aaron Burr was a good example of this in the Hamilton play. I'm kind of really on that. Like Aaron Burr, his song is like Wait For It, and he's also like talk less, smile more. So I think intelligence doesn't include a lot of other virtues like courage and honesty and integrity, right? So does intelligence negatively correlate with strength, courage, integrity? Yeah, you can't logic your way out of emotionally difficult situations ever, you know? Anyone who thinks they can is stupid. Is it odd to think of yourself as having stat points? No, I think about life that way. It's bunch information that isn't useful for making a living that's tangible. Thank you, Drew. I mean, you and people who are choosing to watch me give me this platform. I don't think people need to complain about life. Life is worth complaining about. You learn more by it. Yes and no. You too, Lonzy, thanks for the gift earlier. I think you were the one that sent the corgi butt. Hopefully I called out whoever did. Yeah, okay. So let's say that's one conclusion that we've reached, right? Intelligence does not overlap with courage, strength, integrity, right? And I would say out of those, I think courage correlates the most to having a happy life. Thanks for the heart me, 0. They are conditioned through society to become unhappy. Oh, Josh, what do you mean by that? Addressing complaints. Yeah, because someone who's actually intelligent, right? Not just a nerd, not just book smart, they will understand what are the problems in their life and then efficiently solve whatever they can, you know? Maybe I should have had a longer preamble on this because I think people need to have that explained to them. Like, a lot of people come in, talk about intelligent people understand how broken the world is. It's like, that just sounds like some Tumblr bullshit, you know? You don't have to be very intelligent to understand, you know, that it's bad, that we have inequality, you know? You don't have to be very intelligent to understand that we have prejudice, you know? So there's a lot of different people with a lot of different perspectives in this live right now, you know? People who are intelligent, monks are stupid as hell. I tend to agree with that, like the Buddhism way. It's really easy to accept everything in life when you just beg the people around your community for food, you know? We all some eggs for real. Society has conditioned intelligent people to not rely on others. Oh yeah, that's why I can't rely, or that's why I can't respect or trust someone who thinks they're intelligent, but they're not fiercely independent. But that's actually not a one-to-one correlation either. I would say I respect fierce independence. I'm gonna watch this live recording back and write these qualities down. I respect fierce independence, you know? It depends on their levels of empathy. Oh yeah, social skills plays into this a lot. A lot of people like to bring that up as if it's like a big gotcha. But yeah, I like the way you say that. Chandler Bing, thanks for the follow. Intelligent people are sensitive and have a higher tolerance for awareness. I would say so. A, follow the live creator, thank you. These are very write down worthy thoughts. Thank you, sneaky poop fart. So, our emotional intelligence and empathy. At the risk of sounding like Kirk, I'd say empathy is a little bit overrated. I think compassion's really what we're getting at when we talk about empathy. So, the problem is smart people focus on solving problems more than hedonism or social climbing. Victor, I agree with that a lot. Smart people think that they shouldn't want the things everyone else wants. I've made videos on that topic. Thank you for the follow, Macario. Like, I've made videos on the idea that, like, ultimately, you don't want to overthink stuff. Like, most people will agree, like, even if you think you're so smart, it's like, you're gonna want basically what everyone else wants, right? You want a decent job for not too much effort, right? You want good friends, you know? You end up wanting the same things. It's not like you seek enlightenment, you know? How is compassion better? Compassion isn't a skill of like how you can think or put yourself in the other shoes. Compassion is love, you know? You can be empathetic and still move in a very cold and ruthless manner, you know? So what we really value out of empathy is the compassion side of it. You know, damn, it's raining hard. I'm on my Goggins shit right now. It wasn't raining like this when I started, but let's go. This is what we're doing today. Let's go, I don't give a fuck. Come on. I hate seeing my shortcomings and knowing I can never get more intelligent and comprehend more. Yeah, but you can get more mature. You can make it so your shortcomings have less impact when they do. I think that's a big factor. I'm someone who is pretty black-pilled when it comes to intelligence. I don't think you can increase it by much, but if your maturity is high, is high and your ego is low, then the impact of your like shortcomings intellectually will be much less. You know, what shoes am I wearing? The Boston 12s. Lasting change requires pragmatism. Feeling compassion is less important. Man, you'd have to explain that a lot more, and it's kind of hard to do that in this format. Are you using Runna? No, I've been seeing a lot of ads for them, which makes me not want to use them more. What is the min IQ you consider intelligent? I don't know. There are guys, there's a particular guy I know, I'm not going to name him because this isn't flattering, but I'm pretty sure he's below 100. But he's someone I enjoy his company a lot. He's very mature. He's not defensive. He's not insecure, but he is slow. And it's always kind of jarring to me when we're in the middle of a discussion and then I just kind of see like, oh yeah, he is kind of slow, you know? But I'd much rather talk to that guy than the guy with like, I don't know. I'm not going to start saying IQ numbers like 115. I'll say like top third, like talking to a guy who might be like top third, but is too eager to just kind of show off. Those people are insufferable. They just keep talking. What's up, outer space enthusiasts? Power is taken, not begged for, okay? I desperately want to fully comprehend the fourth dimension. I hate that I can't. I would say that seems like a pretty trivial, like external. Yeah, I tend to think IQ is a good metric. A lot of people argue against it, saying it's not all that, but it's not all that. You know, so if you already know that it's not all that, can we like use it and talk about it? What's up, outer space? Do you mean when they are perceived as intelligent or just claim to be intelligent? I'm talking about the people who claim to be intelligent. A lot of unhappy intelligent people are just claiming to be intelligent, you know? Because intelligent people, but now I'm realizing I kind of superloaded the word intelligent, right? Because I realize there's a lot of things I'm talking about. You know, when I picture an intelligent person, I'm also picturing someone who's fiercely independent, who's courageous, who's honest and who has integrity, who's not insecure, who's not trying to show off, is not trying to impress people, right? So I guess I overloaded the term intelligence, right? An IQ test doesn't measure any of those things I just listed. So they're easily traumatized and uninterested in power acquisition. No, I think there's a lot of intelligent people who are not courageous. There's a lot of intelligent pussies, and they make a lot of noise. They complain a lot. They talk about how intelligent they are. Someone can be intelligent and not book smart, yeah. Are you saying the IQ test accounts for that or no? That's definitely overloaded, yeah. So I guess I kind of pivoted into what do I admire in people? What do I admire in myself, right? What do you guys admire in people? So yeah, I think independence, courageous, and possessing integrity. That's not integral, right? What do you call someone who possesses integrity? Seguin, that's funny and meta. Are you the strongest because you are Satoru Goju? Okay. Thank you for the follow through you, Gift. Thank you for the follow, Shrey. I admire courage in the face of overwhelming odds. I think about that a lot too. When Captain America is ready to stand against Thanos, and it's just like, what are you supposed to do? Because you're definitely gonna die, right? You're not gonna beat Thanos with that big ass army. But I love that. Like, you're supposed to plant yourself like a tree and say, no, you move. I love that. User 50 something, thank you for following. I don't know what phase is. Cap is my freaking dude. Yeah, of all the MCU guys, I love Cap the most, for sure. You know, doesn't seem to correlate to me. I was saying the literal opposite. I know audio quality and like where you joined in the live, you know. Oh shit. It's getting hard to control my phone. What's your ideal easy pace? Like 11:30. Thanks for the follow. Fuck your chili. It's both. Focused madness is tough. At Junie, 6-7 minutes. Oh, did Junie get in and ask how long I've been live? Greetings, Brian of Tarth. See, it's almost time for me to turn around. I think I'll turn around right now. Damn, it is raining hard. Should I turn on my light? I brought my light and I brought pepper spray because I'm going to be calling a lot of attention to myself with this light on. How do I look? I'm going to check. Oh, dude, the video quality is great right now. Okay, personal power is most important in life. Yeah, I would say personal power. What live ranking? I don't look at any of that. A lot of nuance to this question, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Hey, don't copy and paste the same message more than twice, okay? I know there's like, chat's kind of popping off today. I can't believe there's 127 people in here. Thank you guys. Hi, I'm the smartest person I've ever met and I'm extremely happy constantly. As you should be. In the rain, bro is single-handedly carrying the boats. Yeah. Intelligence also lets you pull yourself out of it. Becoming aware of whatever misery lets you cope. Yeah, but do you mean cope in the bad way? Because both ways are true. Intelligent people lie to themselves in very crazy ways, right? And that's also another reason why, for option number 2, right? Intelligent people are unhappy because they lie to themselves, right? That's funny, but where's your sword? Oh, it's time to run. Cope as in rectifying, but the lying bit too. Okay, so you also mean it both ways, right? People with intellectual statistics are very likely to be depressed. Yeah, I thought the Shane Gillis joke was pretty wrong. Like, not offensive, but it's just like, you know, it's one thing for them to be funny to you and like nice people, but are they happy? What time is sunset there? 4:45. So it's technically after sunset. Should I turn on this light? I'll do it on my next walk break. Big fan of your content. Expresses a lot of the things I feel but don't know how to put into words. That is the sweet spot I'm aiming for right now. A lot of people on the internet, running plus pondering, bro, is multitask maxing. Yeah, and 117 people with me. This is awesome. This is so cool. I feel so cool right now. Thank you guys. Linus followed the live creator. Thank you. Intelligence is a burden in humans towards focusing on the negative. See, All right, so a couple people have expressed that idea over the course of this life, that intelligence is a burden. It makes you see the problems in the world. It makes it harder to be happy. I don't think that's true. I think intelligent people who lack courage, independence, strength, integrity, conviction, they are unhappy. And they think that because they're intelligent, everything else should fall in line when they lack strength and like virtue of character, you know? You're the only person I've ever seen that has the same thoughts I do. I appreciate it. I mean, I really like the people who disagree in ways that I think make sense, you know? Their minds cannot fathom other alternate conclusions, so they always come back to the same. No. Hey, what's up, Wadi? The smartest people aren't going around proclaiming their intelligence. Yeah, cool, dude. I'm not smart. Go to the next live. I don't care. I didn't even say I'm smart in my prompt. I wish I didn't know. Unhappiness stems from not having purpose. Oh yeah, we're not even talking about purpose yet. Let's see. Yeah, purpose. What about purpose? I think purpose goes back to conviction, right? And courage. But we also live in a world where there's not a lot of easy purpose. We live in a big world where even if you work hard, you're just like a small part of it, right? How many super intelligent researchers are out there working on some tiny piece of a puzzle? Like what material is like better for batteries in certain conditions, you know? They're not inventing electricity anymore. So you kind of have to, like the purpose you can find at this stage of humanity is a lot smaller than the purpose that like Hamilton had. Thank you, Wilson. Do you believe that intelligent people realize the answer to which they're unhappy and do nothing? I think a lot of people who think they're intelligent and are moderately intelligent realize the problems to their lives and then lie to themselves about it, you know? Okay, it's getting dark. I'm gonna turn on the light thing. Let's see how cringe this is. How can I turn on this light thing? Oh, Jesus. What do you guys think? Is that weird? Versus if I turn it off. Oh, it's getting pretty dark. Damn, with my glasses on and with my glasses on and the rain on my glasses, I really can't see with that light on. Yeah, now the light is fire. Should I do the light? How far have you been running? I'll check on my watch in about 10 seconds. All right. The cringe man thinks he's base, but the base man knows he's cringed. I like that. I'm at 2.5 miles. I'll probably do another 1.5. I'm taking it pretty easy. I think the meaning you can find is different today, not less. I disagree with your disagree, but like, I think your stance is reasonable, but when humanity was less far along, our achievements mattered more. It's kind of like marginal returns. Intelligence definitely does not only come from rich families. Yeah, I didn't say that if someone else did. But the way you articulate, he's probably around 90 IQ. Good estimate, SMO. Probably some people fall into both, but being intelligent doesn't mean you have to be unhappy. I agree completely. Knowing what's wrong and being unable to do anything about it feels like shit. Yeah, but you don't have to be intelligent or unintelligent to be someone who accepts life as it is. So I think that's maturity, right? Maturity and what is it, stoicism? I kind of stay away from that. People who preach it kind of annoy me. Thank you for the follow, Dolphin. What science do you gravitate to most? I mean, I don't know. I learned a good amount of math, and then I'm a programmer now, but I'm not big on any type of science, really. I'm not a scientist. If I could go back and choose to be really good at any type of science, like if you forced me to go back and study for a year, I would probably go with Newtonian physics. Oh my God, it's so bright. Okay, this seems a little bit dimmer. Okay. Will it find me? All right, and then I'll have the glasses off. Do I believe in God? I believe in a God. Could you elaborate a touch on your job? I'm a front-end programmer. I do websites. Bros locked in, yeah. People forget intelligence is not the end all be all, 100%. And I kind of did that. I realized a lot of the things I'm lumping in with it are like independence, courage, strength of character, integrity, conviction, and then someone added purpose. I like that too. Academic intelligence, at least. I think academic intelligence is the least. Marathon training, yeah. I think thinkers are less happy instead of intelligent people, yeah. Overthinking and underthinking are independent of your intelligence, I would say. How's the light looking? Yeah, I guess it's all right. I don't agree. You can be incredibly intelligent by many metrics, but still not be happy. Oh yeah, I like, now people are discussing with each other. I kind of like that because reading chat is getting hard for me. Oh God, I just kicked the puddle. My feet are very wet. Oh, let's go. I'm loving this. It did stop raining though, so maybe I could put my glasses back on. Man. Oh yeah, it is foggy. I'll wipe my glasses after my next walk break. Let's see. People on stream is a sign of high intellect. Pooping on stream. You was here yesterday. Is that Noah? Yeah. That's just my desk, Noah. I thought we agreed on that. I was just sitting at my desk. It makes noises. Let's go, Lion. Thank you. I'm having trouble reading the names. The names are in like a gray font. And my glasses have a lot of glare because of the rain. The lion loves to run. I think it's hard to be happy if you're intelligent enough to know how many things are corrupt. I don't think so, because there's a lot of unintelligent people who are unhappy with how corrupt things are, you know? So we're spending a lot of time in this discussion separating things that are and are not related to intelligence. So I separated a lot of virtues, right? Independence, strength, courage, integrity, conviction, purpose. But another one is obsessive compulsive nature or neurotic nature. I'm finally putting words to it. A lot of people have brought up neurotic or obsessive behavior as like a relation to intelligence. Now, do they correlate? They might. I don't know the facts. But these supposedly intelligent people would be unhappy because of their neurotic or obsessive nature, not because of their intelligence, not because they can learn fast and think fast, you know? All right, we're in a walk break. All right, I'm gonna try to wipe my glasses. Very true. A lot of people think acknowledging the state the world is in equals intelligence. Yeah, it's really not, especially when you're just getting news from one source, you know? Like quality of life is very high today, right? I'm not saying like make America great again, but I'm saying like we have made a lot of progress within the last 150 years, you know? And if you don't see that, you're living in a bubble, you know? Obsession beats talent. Yeah, but in this sense, I was talking about obsessing over bad things, but I get what you're saying. Common courtesy and sense are failures of society. What does that mean? What are you using to carry your phone? I'm using a gimbal. Nathan, thanks for the follow. I get my news from prophetic dreams. Oh, thank you for the heart me, Victor. Sorry guys if I've missed other gifts while I was running blind. I think it's generally easier for less intelligent people to move on from negatives. Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, you know what? I'm sure there's research on this, but I bet obsessive compulsive or neurotic behaviors do correlate positively with intelligence. But still, that doesn't mean that intelligence is the problem. It's obsessive and neurotic behavior. Knowledge and intelligence, oh yeah, that's definitely separate. I do not like people who think knowledge is intelligence. So anytime you talk about something that they know a little bit about, they just ramble. I hate that. People aren't aware are happier. There's correlation, but correlation doesn't equal causation. Yeah, I don't know if intelligence causes neuroticism. In fact, I think the opposite. You're more likely to become mature if you're intelligent and you're understanding things and processing things correctly. How's the camera so stable? I've got a gimbal, and then I think just the iPhone, the software for stability is like really good. There's a study between professional fighting talent and autism. Was it positively correlated? I'm in a pretty dark bridge right now. So I'm kind of focused on watching my feet. Okay. Daz followed the live creator. Thank you. Very positive. I thought someone was filming you. No. I think Obama had a quote like that. I mean, Obama's really intelligent. That's the thing. You know, you gotta understand, Obama must think the masses are stupid. You know? You can find happy or sad geniuses, never a level IQ that will end in emotion. Yeah, that's true. I wish you were gay. Holy 100 views, yeah. A lot of people today and yesterday. It's pretty cool. Yeah, this is pretty cool. It does make it a little bit harder to follow chat. How full is the LA River? Oh God, can you see? Or is it too dark? It doesn't look anything crazy. I guess I should be careful when I'm going under these bridges and keep an eye out that there's not like a wave of water coming. Yo, love your content, keep it up, thank you. But then there are both plenty of happy and miserable idiots. Exactly, I've been saying that the whole stream, you know? So is there any correlation? Is it just zero? Oh God, did my gimbal run out of battery? Sorry guys. Is it dead? I think my gimbal might be dead. Ah, that's frustrating. Sorry, you guys are upside down. I think it varies. Our neck just broke. I don't think there's any correlation. Why do you think so? I think it's been like a meme that intelligent people are unhappy. All right, let's take you off gimbal. I'll hold you guys in my hand for the last couple of runs. Would you rather reincarnate with 160 IQ and subsidized housing? Yeah, 160 IQ and subsidized housing, 100%. I don't think people understand how smart 160 is. Guys, like the IQ tests that you can pay for only go up to 130. Like, they stop at the top 99%. They don't get more detailed than that. So 160 is like beyond, it's like top 1% of 1%. There are no tests that measure that. So a lot of people who claim that don't know what they're talking about, or their estimates. Like when people estimate people in history, that's usually coming from a place of like, you know, was he 1 in 1,000? And then they map that onto a standard deviation map. How often do you go live, Unc? So I was going like every other day when I ran, but I think now I'm gonna be going every day because I'm gonna lift weights on the other days. But it's a matter of if I can find the gym to be empty, like my apartment gym. If my apartment gym is empty, if I could find a good time for it, I'll go in there and I'll work out on live, you know? Man, people are still watching while you can barely see me. I guess at this point, I'm kind of a podcast. The free IQ tests I've done are so bad. Yeah, there's one by Open Psychometrics. That was a website. And they said their scores correlate 70% with like real ones. I told this story yesterday. I took a real one because I thought I might be stupid. I met someone who just like mopped the floor with me, made me feel like a child, but not in a bad way. Like I just realized, oh, he babies me when we talk about things. You know, like this guy's so much smarter than me. And then I just thought like, am I dumb? Like I've always fancied myself as pretty smart. So when I took that test, I was fully open to the idea that it might tell me I'm like, I don't know, a little above average or even average. But No, that guy must have just been a freak. I think he is a freak. And he was buff. He was buff and he was like personable. So he was the first guy I met who was much smarter than me, who wasn't also a little weird. And I just kind of realized, yeah, like superior people exist. Life is not a zero-sum game. That guy just has it all. I'd like to do that one then. The one I did give me, Limo, not a freak. Yeah, because what does a freak mean, right? Everybody in the NBA is a freak. That guy's a freak. I don't mean it in a bad way. What IQ are you? I'm not gonna say it. It doesn't matter. Was he smarter or more charismatic? Both. Both. You don't understand. He was both. And more disciplined, more everything. He's just a superior guy. Power isn't rewarded to the most intelligent. Power is rewarded to the ruthless and pragmatic. I feel like you're just quoting like 50 laws of power, you know? Thank you for the follow. It's so deflating, to be frank, when you talk to someone and can tell they are leagues above you IQ-wise. Yeah, it's deflating. Not for me. For me, it makes me very excited. And this is gonna piss off the people in here and really trying to like question me. But it doesn't happen that often where I just feel like someone outclasses me completely. And when that does, I kind of get starstruck and I want to, you know, get to know them. 48 Laws of Power. I only read like the first 7. I thought it made sense, but I think it's a book written for average to moderately intelligent people. Like, don't outshine the master. Any child smarter than their teacher learns that when they're like 13 or 14 years old, you know? Stop trying to like get your teacher in a gotcha. It's the same energy as a lot of the people in here asking me like questions, trying to ask me what my scores are and stuff like that. Atomic Habits. Yeah, I like Atomic Habits. I will say, I know Atomic Habits is like a very normie book, you know, not really saying anything crazy. How do I cope? Cope with what? You don't win by avoiding power games. Yeah, but like what kind of power games are you talking about? I've had those situations come up in my corporate office. They happen like twice a year, you know? Why am I running? Because I'm trying to get good at it. Okay. Thanks for the follow, Jay. Hey, what's up, Arc by Cats? Welcome back. I can be intelligent enough to make myself be happy. Exactly. Casual Dev, what's up? Yeah, Caroline, it's exhausting to explain to someone the idea of generalities. I would just avoid doing it. Am I enjoying running? Yeah. Today was a bit rough. It started raining while I was running pretty hard. I stepped in a puddle with my left foot, and then I kicked the water that splashed up with my right foot. So it's like a 1-2 step. And now my right foot's very wet. Thank you, Jake. I want to fill that role for you guys, but via YouTube, you know? I think if you're intelligent enough, you can change and become happy. But if you choose not to, then yeah. Generalizing nearly everything is way too common on TikTok. I don't think so. I don't think so when people are very clear that they're generalizing. But I know what kind of videos you're talking about. When people think they have something figured out and then they just say something that applies in only a very short place, like a very small subset. Oh my God, yeah, I'm gonna make that a TikTok. And some are also just coping. You should save these lives and post them on YouTube. So I already do that. The channel is CKWON117. I've only posted 2 so far. This dude just ran a red. All right. When did you have the realization of your wrong reaction to the smart, charismatic guy? What do you mean wrong reaction? Did I have a wrong reaction? I did act weird around him, you know? Have I ever influenced you to make a TikTok? No, not that I remembered. I'm sure it'll happen eventually. I'm not gonna answer that question. Catch that man that ran the red light, maybe. That's why I tried to get his license plate on the live recording. Hopefully it shows up. But what am I gonna do? Am I gonna fucking call the cops? But yeah, that guy would have fucking killed me today, actually, if I had trust. Get something from McDonald's? No. I made a vow to not go to the fast food that's right on my block. Like, I could keep getting fast food, but what I will never do is get these fast foods. It's Cope, on God. Imagine the lion getting run over on stream, yeah. And then a bunch of people would make TikToks saying like, oh, stop thinking you're a celebrity, you know? When it's like, dude, I was not doing anything wrong. I just happened to be paranoid. So I checked to see if any cars were driving poorly. 803, thanks for the follow. I'm probably gonna hit the button in a few, or maybe I'll get home and keep streaming. There's so many people here today, and then I can focus more on like the topics we're discussing. Imagine a world with so many stupid people. Felix, I love that you brought up that point. You're the first one. I sometimes wonder, like, would I rather be happier of the whiny loser just interested to hear truth? Yeah, it's all of the people. Yeah, I'm glad you're the first person to ask this truth. It's all the people who say stuff like, oh, I was the gifted kid. It's like, shut up. If you were the gifted kid and you were born in America and you have citizenship and you don't have any health problems, you should be at minimum middle class. If you're really gifted, you know, why is it so hard for you to get like a middle class office white collar job, right? It's a lot of those people. And so they think they're intelligent because they were good at math in 3rd grade. That's like the whiny intellectual who's not intellectual, you know? Is it possible to become smart? I don't think so, not in the way that I'm discussing it, but it is very possible to mitigate the consequences of your stupidity by becoming more mature and secure. If you don't mind, please don't end. Okay. All right. I might pause the live for about a minute, and then I'll get inside. Yeah, 2nd grade math flex. Yeah, the people were like, oh yeah, I was put in the accelerated program in 5th grade. It's like, there's no accelerated program in 5th grade, you dumbass. You know, they put you in the class so that you wouldn't get bullied. That's what the fuck happened. If how far back you have to reach for a gifted kid is like earlier than high school, you know? Mitigate the consequences of your stupidity goes hard. Yeah, I'll make a TikTok on that. Like, maturity and security and lack of ego will do a lot to mitigate the like unintelligent actions you might take. I was college level reading in 2nd grade. Yeah, it's like, if that was true, you would have kept on not trying and kept on achieving good outcomes. You know what I mean? Yeah. I got special ed, I'm so smart. If you're intelligent and unhappy, then you're not that intelligent. At least, Brandon, so I've come to the conclusion that if you're intelligent and unhappy, it means that you must not have one of these other virtues that I was conflating. So that would mean like courage, honesty, conviction, independence. All right, I'm crossing the street. Dumbasses. This one slowed down when she saw me, but she definitely didn't see me as I was coming. Oh shoot, Cali Cat and Jesse, thank you for the gifts. All right, guys, I'm gonna cover the camera for a little bit, you know, while I run back into my house. And then I'll keep on going live. I'll stay on the live. So give me about 2 minutes and to my Wi-Fi. See, don't leak If you're intelligent enough, you'll find happiness if you're brave, you know, if you're brave, if you're courageous, if you're honest. Is there genuinely any reason to subject yourself to people once you're secure? Yeah, because that's the point of life. Life is social. We are social. That's a point that I'm not willing to really entertain counter arguments on. Life is all about friends and relationships. Have you ever seen the scene? No. Jake, text me or DM me like the words I should search on YouTube to watch that scene. What books would you say influenced your philosophy here? Not that many books. Ender's Game and Speaker for the Dead, definitely. Because that follows a character who is smart, but also has convictions and lives with the code of honor, does what has to be done. Okay, guys. Everybody, all 81 people in here, thank you for being in here. It might lag for a little bit while I get onto my Wi-Fi, so bear with me for the next minute or so. Thank you for the follow, Trent. Yeah, bear with me for about 1 minute starting now. Let's see, it might cut out. I don't think being intelligent equates through being able to figure out how to make yourself happy. I think it does, although self-honesty, now we're talking about self-honesty. You perceive yourself at the highest level. Charles Copeharder, what? If you think you're tall, are you the tall? You perceive yourself at the highest level. Charles Copeharder, what? If you think you're tall, are you the tall? I don't really have a lot of patience. I don't really have a lot of patience for the people who are just trying to cope and say intelligence is like a trick or it's not real, you know? All right, I'm gonna take off my shoes. I might switch to a trick or it's not real, you know? All right, I'm gonna take off my shoes. I might switch to all right. Hey guys, if you can hear me, I'm gonna switch to my computer, so I'll be back on live in like a minute.